I'm at 1432 Clough Pike, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that may be of concern to the buyer. Our access point is an outside clean out here, right behind the back steps. You can see there's the back door, and it is right here. I will leave it uncovered, and I'll stick a flag next to it or something. But this is the access for the sewer line. I am right next to the AC unit, so it may be a little loud there, but shouldn't be too bad. So from opening the line, there's a little bit of loose rust that was knocked loose just from opening the brass cap that's in the cast iron. It kind of knocks some of the rust loose, but shouldn't be a problem. Cast iron, this looks pretty open, but you never really know what kind of life expectancy it has. I think they say roughly 75 years, but it's kind of hard to tell because you can never really tell how thin or thick it is. So in these situations, you're just basically looking for any obvious holes or anything. This does look like I am completely underwater, so this is maybe a belly. Yeah, pretty hefty belly. I didn't see any solids in the belly, but it will be marked and mentioned in the report. Cast iron is something that you want to be careful of due to the fact that, like I said, it does rust, and you can't see any visible holes, and you can't really tell, but you really don't know how thin or thick the walls are. And one of the main things that happens with cast iron is it is prevalent to have soft clogs. So pretty common thing, or I should say kind of the most common thing with cast iron is to have soft clogs where things will catch on the rust because they're so rough. The side of the pipe walls are so rough that they can catch excessive toilet paper. Wet wipes should never be used in general, but they definitely shouldn't be used in cast iron. They can catch and build up. It's one of the most common causes for clogs in cast iron is a soft clog from like toilet paper and wet wipes, like I mentioned. So we're going to push all the way out, and then I'll turn the water off. I do have the water running in the kitchen. That should drop the water level in some of these areas once it flows, and then we'll take a look at it as we pull back. It seems to be functioning, but that belly is something that you're going to have to pay attention to. And like I said, I didn't see any solids in there, and so I'm going to recommend that you get a second opinion from a licensed plumber on that belly to see how drastic that really is or how severe it is. But I'm actually going to pause the video for a second. We're getting a decent amount of rain here, and I want to make sure that my electronics don't get damaged. Okay, so you will probably have, you can hear the rain hitting the umbrella. I just kind of have the monitor covered, so you'll be able to hear that in the inspection. But so far, the line looks pretty good overall. You do have that belly, like I mentioned, but we'll mark that, bring attention to it a little bit more on the way back. Like I said, I will turn the water off when we get all the way out. It's not real common to have cast iron go all the way out. A lot of times people use clay outside of the house, and the cast iron may come out for a few feet, but then by this point this would all be clay pipe. go out to the side. You can see some of the mineral buildup and the rust buildup on the side of the pipe. It's pretty normal. It does kind of leave a, it does slowly wash away. So it is really ugly, but I haven't seen any major issues, and I will be able to go a lot slower on the way back. We just want to keep moving to go out as far as we can. Without finding a clean out, I can only go about 150 feet. I'm all out of stick here. So what I'm going to do is try to make sure that the camera lens is cleaned off here. I'm going to go turn the water off and make sure that I'm at a good spot here to clean the water off. Make sure that the camera lens is clear before I do that. So pull out a little bit here and then make sure the camera lens is as clear as we can get. So that's about as far as we can get. So I'm going to go turn the water off and then we'll wait for it to drain down and then we'll pull back and inspect. Slower on the way back. Okay, so I located the line too to make sure the water's off, but I've also located the line, and we're right at the property line. I'm right at the curb, which is good because anything beyond this point should be on the municipality. But we'll look for another access on the way back and see if there's a clean out. There's supposed to be one about every 100 feet or so. But sometimes it's really hard to identify with cast iron to try to find those. There's nothing visible above the surface. It may have been buried like this one, but we'll try to take a look on the way back and hopefully we can find something. Looking for that, and the cast iron is definitely ugly, but I haven't seen anything structurally that gives me any concern. This all looks pretty normal for old cast iron. Again, you have a very hard thing to gauge. Sit here for a minute and see if we can wait for this to calm down a little bit. Pull back. Continue looking. I was kind of hoping for that water to come down just a little bit further here. But as we're looking, Again, I haven't seen any indication of anything obstructing flow or any structural issues. So if there was any holes, those would be pretty visible. I mean, there's a lot of different colors and everything on the inside of your pipe. It would have dirt and gravel and stuff coming through the hole, even though it is kind of hard to identify because of how dirty and rusty the line looks. Those all seem to be functioning fine. Pretty surprised that I haven't seen another access point until now. Good news is there's no root intrusion or anything. That would be another indication of any holes or weak spots in the connections. There are a lot of trees out there, so they would have found entrance at some point. On the way back, you can see how much better we've been able to see. And there are no solid buildups. Nothing. And another good indication is the fact that this clean out has never been opened. Seemingly. So I've never had to access it. Always good. Unless they just had to do something from inside, but there was no visible accesses from the inside either. Here is the left turn. I believe this is, so now we're coming back we're in the back of the house, and this is where that belly ended. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pause the video, and we're going to locate the end of it, and then I'll also locate the beginning of it. Refer this to a licensed plumber evaluation. Couple degrees from usage. Okay, so yeah, we didn't see any other sections. I'm going upstream now just to check these few feet where the pipe leaves the house. But we've flow tested all that. So we're going upstream now. I'm just going to go to where the line drops in, or where there should be an inside clean out, and that's right where this is right here. That's where the pipe ends. So again, everything, most of the line looked great structurally, all the way out to 140 feet. At that point, it does leave the property, and that's as far as we can get because there are no other access points along the line. And the only thing to really report of any concern would be that belly, about 15 feet long, from 14 feet long, from 10 feet here right outside of the clean out, shortly outside of the clean out, till the 24-foot mark, which is just around the back corner of the house. So I'm going to recommend that be assessed by a licensed plumber on severity, but in most cases you can have bellies like that for years and not cause any problem, as long as you're not flushing wet wipes and stuff and things you're not supposed to down the sewer line. So that'll end the inspection at 1432 Clough Pike in Batavia, Ohio.